Welcome to Battery Hacker. In today's video, we're going to answer a very common question. How many batteries do you really need for a 3000-watt inverter? The truth might surprise you, because most people make mistakes here, and that's exactly why their batteries fail so quickly. By the end of this video, I'll show you two complete examples, one for lithium batteries and another for lead-acid batteries, so you'll know exactly what works best. Now, here's something I see all the time. People try to run a 3000-watt inverter on a single 12-volt, 100-amp-hour battery. Honestly, that's shocking. No wonder the battery gives up within 6 months. So let's break it down properly. The two most important things you need to understand are battery voltage and battery capacity. These factors determine whether your setup will run efficiently or destroy your battery in no time. A golden rule is this: try to keep the current under 100 amperes. Why? Because it reduces wiring costs, allows you to use cheaper charge controllers, and improves the overall efficiency of your solar power system. And the easiest way to keep current low is by using a higher battery voltage. The higher the voltage, the more inverter power you can safely handle. Here's a quick guideline. With a 12-volt battery, your inverter should be limited to about 1,000 watts. With a 24-volt battery, you can go up to around 2,000 watts. With a 48-volt battery, you can safely handle about 5,000 watts. And if you ever need more than that, simply use a 48-volt system with inverters running in parallel. Now, let's calculate what happens with a 3000-watt inverter. So, let's do the math for a 3000-watt inverter. We take 3000 watts and divide it by 48 volts. That gives us 62.5 amperes. But to be on the safe side, we apply a safety factor of 125%, which brings the number to about 78 amperes. This means we should use an 80-ampere fuse. Since this is still under the 100-ampere limit, it works perfectly fine. Another big advantage of using a higher voltage system is that your charge controller current also comes down, which saves money. Let me explain. If you have 800 watts of solar power feeding into a 12-volt battery, the current would be around 66 amperes. That means you'd need a 70-ampere charge controller. But if you use a 48-volt system, the same 800 watts only requires about 20 amperes. So a much smaller and cheaper 20-ampere charge controller will do the job. Now let's talk about something called the C rate. Every battery type has a recommended C rate, which defines the safe charging and discharging current. For lead-acid batteries, the typical rate is 0.2 C. For lithium batteries, it's usually 1 C. What does that mean in real numbers? A 100-ampere-hour lithium battery can safely charge or discharge at up to 100 amperes, because 100 ampere-hours multiplied by 1 C equals 100 amperes, but a 100 ampere-hour lead-acid battery is limited to just 20 amperes, because 100 ampere-hours multiplied by 0.2 C equals 20 amperes. Yes, you can pull higher current from a lead-acid battery, but it will heat up, lose efficiency, and wear out much faster. Now, let's apply this to our 3000-watt inverter with lithium batteries. We already know the inverter draws about 62.5 amperes at 48 volts. This is well under the safe limit for a 100 ampere-hour lithium battery, which can handle up to 100 amperes. So the ideal choice is a 48-volt, 100 ampere-hour lithium battery. A good real-world example is a 48-volt, 100 amp-hour server rack lithium battery. You can also build the same configuration by wiring multiple batteries. 4 12-volt, 100 ampere-hour lithium batteries in series, or 2 24-volt, 100 ampere-hour lithium batteries in series. Both options will give you the same result. There will be a link in the description and the pinned comment to the lithium batteries I recommend. Now let's repeat the same calculation, but this time using lead-acid batteries. For a 3000-watt inverter at 48 volts, the current is still 62.5 amperes. But here's the issue. One 100 ampere-hour lead-acid battery with a C rate of 0.2 C can only safely provide 20 amperes, so we need to divide the inverter current by the safe limit. 62.5 amperes divided by 20 amperes gives about 3.1. That means we need at least 3 100 ampere-hour lead-acid batteries to handle the load. In other words, you'll need a total capacity of about 300 ampere-hours at 48 volts. Why? Because 300 ampere-hours multiplied by 0.2 C equals 60 amperes, which is close enough to handle the 62.5 amperes required. So, to power a 3000-watt inverter with lead-acid, you need a 48-volt, 300-amp-hour battery bank. But notice the difference. With lithium, only 100 amp-hours is required. With lead-acid, you need 300 amp-hours. That's 3 times more capacity. Not only that, but the weight difference is massive. A 48-volt 100 amp-hour lithium battery usually weighs around 110 pounds. A 48-volt 300 amp-hour lead-acid setup can weigh close to 1,000 pounds. One possible configuration is to connect 4 12-volt 100 amp-hour batteries in series and then build 3 of these strings in parallel, making a 4S3P setup. But always remember, fully charge all batteries before connecting them together. Otherwise, you risk imbalance. Final takeaway. For lithium, a 48-volt 100 ampere-hour battery is ideal for a 3000-watt inverter. For lead-acid, you'll need a much larger 48-volt 300 ampere-hour battery bank. And no matter which battery type you choose, always respect the C rate if you want to maximize lifespan and performance. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video. And for more tips on solar power and batteries, subscribe to Battery Hacker.